Fans, welcome to Sports Chat. We're here at the locker room at Campbell County High School, home of the Cougars. It's week 0 for high school football. Cougars just came off a big performance in Neyland Stadium against the Irish of Knox Catholic. Looked pretty good out there. Pretty much everybody got to play. And now we're looking at facing out the Eagles of Seymour.
Seymour gave Campbell County one of its worst losses of the year last year. In the opening game, close going into halftime, had a lightning delay. Seymour came out and supported on in the big debut of Matt and Justin Price. We would think the players would be motivated. This would be a big revenge kind of game for them.
Yeah, home opener. Should be judging from the crowd, and thank you fans for coming out to Neyland Stadium to support the Cougars against Catholic. We need that kind of support every Friday night and more.
Campbell County had what sounded to be the loudest and largest contingent of fans in Neyland. I would say there were around 25,000 to 30,000 people there. It was a good crowd. Played very well against a really good Catholic team who's generally a perennial contender for their Division State Championship.
Catholic's always been tough. Seymour, they run a spread offense, not dissimilar to Campbell County.
In ways that gives each defensive advantage a little bit. They face this kind of offense quite often. And, you know what to expect out of it. Campbell County, Ethan Jeffers is his true debut. You know, he's a young kid. He's a sophomore, but the age of a freshman basically. He's really poised so far. Didn't seem to let Neyland Stadium rattle him at all. Didn't let the really good defenders of Catholic rattle him at all.
Also on the offensive side of the ball, Ethan Simpson broke a great run against Catholic, 42-yarder.
Showed some good speed. He's got power, speed. He's a great linebacker too. I mean, defense.
Slayton Allen had a big tackle early on.
Heard a lot of Nick Bailey during the game.
Nick Bailey always just stalwart on defense.
Catholic hit a couple of big plays at first. They got the ball first, and that's where they got their touchdown. The Cougars shut them down after that.
That first defense of the Cougars, that front seven is hard to run against. We saw them in some scrimmages against Scott County and William Blount. Now, William Blount's a good-sized school. Scott County has decent success playing in a tough division.
And William Blount's usually a pretty good school. You know, defense is faring well so far. The coaches are pretty excited about it.
And honestly, defense is always further along than offense early in the season. It is just the nature of the beast, especially this offense.
The coaches are looking, you know, at this being a really good run-stopping defense. We'll see how that's going to work out against Seymour. Most high school teams are going to run the ball a lot.
Right. I mean, the spread is starting to come in, but still in high school you see a lot of, probably about a 60-40 split on average of run to pass.
I mean, it's really, really vital to stop the run in any kind of format. And basically with the spread offense, it's still all about staying at home and staying in the right spot because you're going to throw the ball short to run.
Right. Your short swing passes out of the backfield and your little drags over the middle are kind of your running game in that kind of offense.
And, you know, with this front seven, if you can get heat on the quarterback, out of your front four, that leaves your linebackers ready to make tackles in that area.
You know, also, Trey Torres made his Campbell County football debut. Trey, he was a good player at Jacksboro. He's a heck of a basketball player. And it looks like they're going to be playing him in the secondary, and he's a point guard. And they're usually, in my experience, if you can get a corner that's also a point guard, they are the excellent cover corners.
Yeah, he looked really good out there. He's going to play some wide receiver too, and he's only a sophomore as well. He's got potential to be a big star this year. This Cougar team's got potential to have a lot of stars.
A lot of great support too. The basketball team was there in force to support the football team. Matt Housley was there. Spencer St. John, his new assistant coach, was there. Of course, Josh James was on the field for the football team. And all the non-basketball playing Cougar basketball, all the non-football playing Cougar basketball players were there.
And we watched I think five of the scrimmages.
Right.
And The Cougars, Catholic was the most competitive in the scrimmage.
Right. The first couple were not even close, really.
You couldn't really tell which was a better team from Campbell County and Catholic.
Right.
They played pretty evenly. Campbell County just had an ill-timed, ill-luck tip that probably took a touchdown for them. They were down around the 9-yard line, and a Jeffers pass got batted around 3 or 4 times, and Catholic intercepted.
It's just one of those freakish plays that they had.
Otherwise, it's probably going to be a 7-7 game. But yardage-wise, everything, the stats were similar.
Also on the football horizon, Thursday night is the Jacksboro Jamboree that's going to see LaFollette Owls taking on the Panthers of Cumberland Gap, and the Jacksboro Eagles taking on the Falcons of Fulton.
Yeah, that Fulton team is going to be really good.
Yeah, if they're anything like the team we saw last year, they're big, they're tough. It's a great test to see where you're at in the Jamboree.
One of the big things about the teams like Fulton is they have freshman age players on them because they're traveling squads, and they're not. Knox County doesn't have middle school.
They're what, if you know anything about Little League, they're what you would consider a super midget team.
Cumberland Gap, I know that they work very closely, the high school and middle school together.
Right.
That should be a competitive game for LaFollette.
Cumberland Gap runs that spread option.
We'll see if LaFollette. Hopefully they've been making strides this year.
I got high hopes for Chris Honeycutt. He's one of those coaches that's dear to my heart. He played on one of my favorite teams of all time. He was a JV player on the squad that Matt and Justin Price, Chris DeMont, Derek Marlowe, Devin Douglas, all those guys were on as varsity. He was my quarterback. He actually played middle linebacker. He became a safety later on because middle school was different. Great player, great guy.
After what seems like it's been 10 years once football season ends, it takes forever. It's here. It's here.
Yeah. Now there's a few other things. A lot of our Cougar athletes from last year are going to be reporting to college this week. I know for a fact Courtney Morris reports to Alice Lloyd Sunday. She moves in Sunday, and I'd say Logan Hunter's already been in Tuscaloosa for some time. And I would say the golfers are already at their particular schools because golf season kicks off pretty early.
It's an exciting time of year. It's my favorite time of year. I love football. It's still hot enough to swim and grill. Get to watch football.
Another thing we got coming up that we plan to get a little bit more coverage to this year, fans, is Lady Cougar volleyball. I think we got a game coming up maybe on the 20th.
I believe so.
That we'll hopefully be at to give total coverage to.
Volleyball and football are the fall sports.
I mean, they have golf and cross country, but they never have anything at home. Cross country in particular, I mean, you're literally running a cross country field. It's very hard to cover.
We will give reports on how the cross country team does, but as you said, you're running for thousands of kilometers. You're running 5K, 10K. You may see the runners for a few minutes out of every hour.
Right. So it's tough. But the most exciting thing is football season is here. This week 0 game is huge. Got the big road trip on week 1 to Cumberland County. Then week 2, we're on TV.
Thursday night in Anderson County. Rivalry Thursday, the biggest game of the week.
It's going to be huge. You know, Campbell County was ranked number 20 in Ray Baxter's rankings this year. That says a lot.
I believe Catholic was ranked 10th or 12th, somewhere in there. So they played basically in Catholic. I can see that being top.
I mean, literally every team that's ever been ranked in that top 20 has been a playoff team.
We'll see how it goes. Campbell County was the 3rd ranked team in the district.
That's saying a lot because, I mean, obviously Oak Ridge is just, I mean, they're the premier path.
Maybe 3rd or 4th in the district. I'm pretty sure, of course, Maryland's going to win.
Right. Then you got Anderson County, who's always a strong team. You have Hardin Valley, who pulls so many kids from so many football-rich areas in Knoxville.
I believe the 2 teams ranked ahead of Campbell County were Oak Ridge and Powell.
Yeah. And Powell, who has been a very good team, but lost the vast majority of their starters and their head coach. Now, course, Powell's new head coach is Matt Price decided.
Powell has a lot of good players still, apparently, in the new team, I think so for sure. Well, so that's a big transition. They lost 20 of 22 starters. Quarterback, the running back, everybody. But they have apparently
not just the quarterback and running back, the college signee quarterback and running back. I mean, McFetridge is a weapon. Yeah, and we all know about Deshaun Mobley.
We stood Deshaun Mobley down last year. It was averaging. He killed us. He looked like the far better player. He ended up signing, I think, with Austin Peay.
Yeah, and that's Austin Peay's. I mean, they're not a D1 bowl series school. They're still a very good school.
Yeah. Anytime you sign with a decent college of that size, or any college period to play, especially quarterback, you do it pretty good.
Right.
He showed it last year on the field. Powell lost him. Lost their whole coaching staff. It's a lot to replace. That's pretty big expectations. I think they may have been ranked in the top 10.
I'm sure they were. I mean,
I said it's mainly they said the strength of a running back. They said he wasn't quite Deshaun Mobley, but they said he wasn't that far off. He was 5'10", 180 pounds.
I hope he's a lot like Deshaun Mobley. I just hope their quarterback this year's not a lot like McFetridge, because we proved that Campbell County could stop Mobley. Jordan Kendrick leveled him at one point. Of course, we're hoping Jordan gets well soon. He's in the boot right now.
I'm thinking maybe that, as the coach has said, it's going to be hard to run against Campbell County this year. That gives you a good chance against teams like Powell.
Yeah, Hardin Valley was a strong runner.
Hardin Valley. Even Oak Ridge. Oak Ridge likes to run the ball.
They do.
I want to say Oak Ridge lost their 3-year starting quarterback.
They did.
So
of course,
they
now
may rely heavy more on the run this year.
They may, because Ryan Hall, their replacement. I remember coaching against his brother in middle school when his brother played middle school, and their coaches told me, like, we're waiting on this kid to get here. So Oak Ridge is Oak Ridge.
Oak Ridge never has that. It's mysterious to me how they've been as down as they are, because they have such a big talent pool. You got 50,000 people or so.
And their track team, their A team runs nationally. They don't bother with local teams.
It's a tough division. Once the Campbell County, based on those rankings, according to the new Sentinel, Jesse Smithy, I think he's pretty good at what he does. He's felt Campbell County's got a good shot this year. I would think that would indicate that there's a good shot of him making the playoffs.
Well, fans, we also have UT football coming up. So there's some big stuff on that horizon. NC State.
Practice started.
They're in Johnson City still, I think.
Coach Dooley's running it with an iron fist. You can't get the board at the end. He's taken away a lot of the media's freedom, and it's pretty much whatever UT releases is what you get to see. So
who knows?
Apparently, Rajon Neal's taken over as starting running back. He had a really good scrimmage, but the running attack was pretty pitiful last year. So you got to hope somebody steps up.
We'll hope to have more on UT in the next.
It's just now getting started out.
But fans, we're going to go ahead and call it here. We're going to interview Coach Price as soon as practice is over, and we'll see you next week.